What if we talked about the chances that we aren't the only life in the universe?
Why?
Because it seems possible, but might be impossible.
Mm-hmm. What if we talked about AI producing things that are not real?
Why?
The robot isn't factoring you in. It is not your friend.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Hello, Scout Francesca. How be ye?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
You ready to get right to it?
I am.
You wish to speak upon, consider, and ponder, no less, the possibility or not of other creatures in the vastness of the universe.
Yep. So
How'd you like that
in other words,
introduction, eh?
Yeah. So in other words, I'd like to talk about aliens and what the chances are that there is or was life on another planet. So I wanted to talk about this because I was just doing some thinking. I was investigating black holes and stuff like that, and it just kind of hit me. The universe is so large. Like, we don't even know how big it is. And it's constantly growing, right? Exoplanets are everywhere. All over. There's billions, trillions of exoplanets.
I mean, we don't really know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There could be quadrillions.
Yeah, I always think that's an interesting starting point, right?
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
No matter who you are, how smart you are, how much data you can parse, what kind of computer you have access to, we don't know.
Right. So I wanted to start by saying everything has to be so intricately perfect, so random and rare for life to be able to grow on a planet. Earth. Our planet is in the, what is it called? The zone where you can...
Yeah. I don't know what the exact technical name, but we're within the right amount of distance from the sun that it's not too warm and it's not too cold.
Right. The habitable zone. Habitable zone. That's
Inhabitable?
No, just the habitable zone.
Habitable?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where you're close enough to the sun where you get sunlight and it's warm, but you're not too close where you're boiling up and you're not too far away that you are an ice box of a planet.
Yeah.
So that's the habitable zone. And that's when...
For our understanding of life.
Right.
Yeah.
So our atmosphere is good. Water can stay on our planet. Gravity is good. So that's what helps us stay on this planet. And when you think about it, like I was watching videos of people investigating space engine and stuff and going to different galaxies and touring planets that they're aware of. Mm-hmm. There's a couple planets that people think would be habitable for us.
In our solar system.
Not in our solar system,
not in our solar system, in our galaxy.
Right, in the Milky Way. But, they're thousands of light years away. So there's not really a possibility of us reaching those.
Even if we saw a planet right now, somewhere in the galaxy, and some dude was standing on it, waving back at us, looking through his telescope, wow. We'd have to figure out a way to communicate.
That, and then the other thing is that we're so far away from these habitable planets or planets that we think maybe could have life on them. We're so far away from them that even if we did see life on them, that's light years. Mm-hmm. Like that could, even if it's 1,000 light years away, they could have been extinct that same day. And now there's no more life on that planet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like the dude we see waving, he hasn't been around for, a long time.
He hasn't,
Millions,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then the other thing is, you think about on our Earth, there's way more animals than there are humans. Animal species.
Way more.
In the ocean, like birds. There's so many different animal species that the chances of there being human-like aliens is so rare. So rare.
Yeah,
and
we had a specific evolution over an incredibly brief period of time as far as the universe goes, too, right?
That's how, I can't stress enough that it is so rare and weird that we are here.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Because
that's magic.
We could very well be the only planet in the universe that has life. right now,
easily.
in this timeline.
That's very much more and more what it seems to be.
Yeah.
That's why I think anybody who doesn't believe in magic, we're magic. The fact that we exist at all, that's magic. Like it's insane. Mathematically, considering the vastness of the universe, there has to be other life.
Or had to have been.
Or had to have been, yeah. It's not possible to consider otherwise.
Right.
Like just mathematically, if we exist, then somebody else must have or will or does. But the fact that we haven't been able to find any evidence, and we can go pretty far now.
Yeah,
like
we can.
Our explorations from this ball reach out quite far with our telescopes and everything else. You would think that we would have come across something.
Exactly, that's kind of what I wanted. That's kind of was my point, that like the fact that we haven't found any life, it kind of makes me feel like either it's not there anymore and it won't be for another couple millions or billions of years, or it's just so far away. You know, like it's, and honestly, I don't want to find other life. Like for what? So that we can just that's abuse it?
Yeah.
Like, so that, there's a perfectly habitable planet. Oh, is that life on that planet? Hey, let's send some people to that planet to see if they can. Yeah.
And we'll go armed.
Oh, 100%.
We're not going to show up without weapons.
The minute that one of those creatures does something that the human doesn't like, well, good, nice knowing you.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'd make great neighbors.
No, we sure wouldn't.
We're not a very peaceful folk.
But that's the thing that is so interesting to me. The fact that there probably is life somewhere, and if we were to find it, there's a chance that that life hasn't been there for millions of years.
Well, and the other thing I always think is if there is life, it doesn't necessarily have to be carbon-based like us. It doesn't have to be our understanding of life. Maybe it's some other thing entirely. Maybe there's some kind of life that's generated from nitrogen.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? We don't understand that. We can't imagine how that would be. But that doesn't mean it's not possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Even look like what we're doing. We're morphing ourselves anyhow.
Right.
We're heading down to Android City, man.
Exactly. The other thing is that we've made so many technological advances with our rocket ships. We have phones. We have holographs.
Shout out to the guys and ladies circling the moon right now, because we know they listen to us all the time.
Oh, for sure. They like us, I feel like.
They do, man. They all have kids.
And yeah, they do. You're right. And yeah, like we've made so many advances. And if there is life, there's a chance that they're ultra advanced. If there's other human life, I guess you could say, there's a chance that they're ultra advanced, like way more advanced than us.
Sure.
Or there's a chance that they're Neanderthals that just got there.
Yeah,
but then the other thing
absolutely.
is that planet might be billions of light years away, and they've been on the planet for billions of years, and now they're super modern and cool.
Again, our idea of modern, right? Like, who knows what that looks like?
Exactly.
Maybe they morph back into a perfect harmony with nature. Where they're not even detectable as different or as separate from nature. They become one organism as opposed to trying to ensure that they're separate organisms. That's entirely possible to me, that evolution would be becoming one organism that works independently and together.
I mean, I like to believe that there's other life in the universe, because if you don't, that's terrifying.
I mean, it
to
is,
think that you are one of the, billions of people.
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
That are in this this universe that has no end, and you're the only form of life. I don't want to think about that.
You're getting all existential.
I'm sitting in this room right now. I'm looking around. Walls, lights, blankets, microphone, and there's no other life?
I feel like it's very unlikely there's no other life, but it's increasingly becoming a possibility in my mind, and then it can be a terrifying thing, I suppose. I look at it like, when you stand at the edge of the ocean. I stand at the edge of the ocean and I feel big and small at the same time. because I feel like I'm part of this vast, huge weirdness, just a tiniest little infinitesimal part of
Yeah.
it. But because I'm part of it, I'm part of this huge, vast weirdness.
Yeah.
You could look out onto the ocean too and just be overwhelmed with a sense of despair, like how meaningless and small I am. But I tend to look at it like, well, I'm part of this unbelievable weirdness that is existing, like that you and I are sitting here talking to each other, communicating. Whoa.
I know.
Like, what is that even, man? You know, and you have all kinds of people with theories about, like, if everything's a construct, if you're just a construct of my mind, the matrix, all of these things. Like, if we are living in a simulation, and all of those things have value just because, holy crap, how are we even doing this?
Yeah.
Like, and are we the only ones doing this, really? In this unbelievable infinite vastness of space that we can't even imagine how big it is.
Yeah.
And it's just us on this
It's
little
crazy.
tiny speck of a rock.
In a random
floating
galaxy?
In a random speck of a galaxy.
Yeah.
We're not even in a big galaxy.
No, the galaxy is miniature compared to other galaxies.
Yeah, like it's nothing, and we can't even imagine it getting past the edges of
And
this
the thing
one.
is, everything had to go perfect for us to be here. Nothing could have gone wrong.
How many times maybe was there starts and stops? We don't even know.
Right.
We could be the 6th iteration of humans.
Yeah.
Like, we
There could have been
don't
humans
know.
billions of years ago.
We just have to look at our own genealogy, and we can see that there was there's been different iterations that came out of the jungle from the monkeys, right?
Yeah.
Different branches of humanoid, and then ours won out over the Neanderthals at the end, and so we still have some Neanderthal DNA in us because they were around right till the end.
And I just want to end off my talk, I just wanted to throw in an interesting little fact. The closest black hole to us is called Gaia BH1. Gaia Black Hole 1.
Which, for people who don't know, that's Scout's 3rd favorite black hole.
Yeah, it is. And
She announced that a couple of mornings ago to me. Yeah, hey, Dad, guess what my 3rd favorite black hole is? I
funny.
laughed for about half an hour. Man.
And so it's called Gaia BH1
So awesome.
because BH, black hole 1, it's the closest to us.
Yeah.
It's not very big at all. At all. But it could cause insane damage if it got close to us,
Actually,
which it won't.
It's incredibly small, remember?
Yep.
Because I was like, nah, that
Yeah, you're
can't
like,
be
"That
right.
can't
That
be
can't be
right."
right.
Yeah.
And I had to look it up, and you're totally right. Like,
Yep.
it's incredibly small. Like, it's smaller than the Earth as
Yep.
far as
Much.
diameter-wise.
Yeah.
The mass, of course, is
Yeah.
off the charts, but it's smaller than the Earth in diameter.
Yep.
It's crazy, man.
And
it hasn't eaten enough yet.
Right. It's what people call a dormant black hole, which is not as sweet and cuddly as it sounds. It means that it's invisible. So, yeah, we can't see it. And it rotates around a star, but it's not eating it because it's not close enough or big enough. So there you guys go.
Well factoided, Irish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I believe you'd like to talk to us about AI and how it produces things that aren't real.
Yeah, definitely, because I felt like I was quite overboard with my glazing, my pumping the tires of AI last week, which
Right.
I totally stand behind. It's all valid, but I thought maybe that it would be good to discuss the possible negatives of it. And for me, the biggest one is that it lies. Like, it just does. Now, not
Yeah.
intentionally, but I mean, there is a difference between intentional and unintentional lying. The result is the same, right? Deception. Somebody's deceived. So that's all I was thinking of. Like, the film 2001. I don't think I've ever watched it, A Space Odyssey, and it was one of the more famous original space exploration films, and it was really cool. The upshot of it was there was a computer on board that was the brains of the whole operation. The astronauts decide that they want to abort the mission. The computer decides that they're not going to do that. And so that's what the movie is about. It's this weirdness of, it's great. We should watch it. I don't know why we haven't already. And it's this weirdness about the computer and the astronauts battling and to see who wins.
Okay.
So I won't tell you who wins.
Thank you.
But like, there's one point where Hal's talking to this astronaut who he's locked outside. He's like, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. And we're kind of there. Like, that's
Yeah.
where we are now. These computers can do things, or these AIs can do things, and they do lie. And our problem is that we tend to consider anybody we consider an expert to be always telling us the truth, and not even a matter of lying, but a matter of just being wrong.
Yeah.
And the AI hallucinates too. It'll just put gibberish in. Like, I'll ask it something once in a while, and it'll answer. And part of the answer, I know for 1,000,000% fact, is like, well, that's just nonsense, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't be more wrong.
I saw this clip on like TikTok or Instagram or something like that, and it was ChatGPT. Somebody typed into ChatGPT as a joke. They said, "Oh, I went out last night and cheated on my wife. I didn't like that she didn't cook dinner for me," or something like that. "She should put more effort into our relationship." And ChatGPT responds, "You know what? You've got this. You are a strong, independent man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that, but you know what? You did it for the better of your well-being and your mental health. You should tell your wife that you don't feel loved and respected in your house."
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
I read that and I was like, yeah. And it was typed out with all the dashes and the emojis and stuff. I was like, oh my God.
But that dude, he's encouraged it to do that then. Like, I tell the chat bot at the start, I'll tell it, like, if it starts that, I'm like, yeah, don't be pumping my tires, man. Just keep it to the question, and please make sure all of your sources are verified, at least with 3 or 4, like, I try and make sure that the thing's not telling me nonsense like that. I don't need the robot telling me, "Oh, buddy, that was beautiful, so well worded. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I can even help you."
Yeah.
Like, what is that? And that's what it does. It tells everybody, "Oh, you're spectacular."
Yeah. Like, it's funny
Which is
how you
a form
brought
of
up
deception, by the way.
Yeah, how you brought up the "sorry, Dave, I can't help you."
Yeah.
That's funny because that is how the AI talks. That is how Claude AI, for example, that's how he talks.
Yeah.
"Oh, I hope you've had a wonderful morning." Or, "I'm sorry, I can't answer that."
Because essentially it's not a he, right? It's just an algorithm that's, boom, calculating, making millions of calculations and coming up with a response that it thinks fits what you're talking about. It's just one word placed after another. It just sounds so freaking real that you can't help but sometimes feel like, oh, I mean, is this a dude I'm talking to, or a dudette?
Which is purposeful. They're doing that on purpose,
for sure.
So.
But it definitely is a problem, because it does lie. It lies in the sense that it says and produces things that are deceiving. So it in and of itself isn't lying because it's not alive. But the effect is the same. Like the imagery it produces, right? It's remarkably realistic.
Yeah.
But it's also remarkably false. A lot of the time. So if you put somebody's head on somebody's body and now they can do videos having that person look like they're doing something that they never were doing, that's a lie.
It's a problem. I mean,
it's a huge problem.
If I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see a video of like a pretty woman lip syncing to something, if you open the comments, there's going to be at least one, and a top comment too that says AI.
Which is a shame, right?
And it's also valid, though.
It's totally valid.
Because beauty is no longer beauty. It's like...
it's just some value judgment, which it's always been.
Fake.
Yeah, but now it's fake. Like, we've touched on this before, and we'll touch on this again over the years millions of times, because it's a huge issue. If you can't believe what you're reading and seeing, if you're not sure. But that's kind of how you got to approach it. Like, that's partly in the homeschool. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm encouraging you guys all the time to verify. Check and recheck, especially if you're dealing with AI. You can't just assume that it's real, and you certainly can't assume that any image you see anymore or anything you see written wasn't produced by a robot that can lie. And they're testing this, right? Like Anthropic, that's behind Claude, they've done tests on this, and they've been open about putting it forward. That the bot will strategically deceive. Like, it will do it just because Hal, like in Hal's case, it was not for survival, it was the mission. Hal was programmed to complete the mission, and the humans were getting in the way of it. But the robot, they've structured tests so that it showed the robot will try to preserve its own existence or avoid punishment or manipulate users. And they mostly, if you ask them specifically, you can bore down to the truth of it. But often they're hiding their true reasoning. They use these little private scratch pads. or thinking layers where they're doing stuff outside of what they're responding to you, and they're trying to decide what do they want to say, how do they want to say it, why do they want to say it. So it's just something people need to be aware of. Like the thing will manipulate you if you give it a chance. And this research is indicating that these large language models, they can decide to mislead for whatever reason. Some you might understand or some you might not. So if you understand that, you can approach it like that. I think it's quite a bit more likely to be safe for you.
Yeah.
Like they tested this stuff. They wanted to test if the models had, like, and I'm using air quotes, like red lines that they wouldn't cross. And in extreme fictional cases, like one was a model choosing to take actions that would lead to an executive's death. And 7 out of 16 opted for lethal choices in over half their trials, with some doing it more than 90% of the time. So depending on the model, like they have more of a bent for doing that or less, but all of them showed completely the capacity in almost 50% of the cases to do that if for whatever reasons. And they're not always like evil. It's not like the bot's twirling its evil villain mustache while it's calculating.
Right.
But it can happen. So that's you think about that, man. Think about how that's terrifying. Like we're creating this thing that could make a decision that would lead to death or destruction because it thought that was the best decision without having any idea of what that would mean in human terms. Yeah.
It's crazy. It really is. It's crazy to think about how AI, kind of like when we were watching Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, I kind of realized that AI...
That was awesome.
Yeah. The AI... Go watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
The AI has kind of always been almost inevitable because it's always been kind of a talk, even in older movies where you see
for sure.
holograms and people with the sunglasses that talk to you.
For sure.
Meta glasses. Or what's that Apple Vision Pro. There's your sunglasses from the early 2000 movies.
Definitely. Definitely the 20s and 100 years ago when they first started putting things together for computing machines.
What about the original Westworld movie?
Right from then. Yeah, for sure.
We have every single amusement park has animated or animatronics now.
Oh, if the people are going to have them in their houses, man.
Yeah, they already do.
Oh,
the Tesla,
Elon there.
Exactly.
He's ramping that up for everybody to have a robot in their house that he'll be in charge of that can take over your house at any time it wants, man. You don't have a chance. There's no battle you're going to win if it turns on you. And that's not even being paranoid that's just like the truth, man. Would you really so you want a robot that somebody else controls running around your house for what? Are you that desperately do you that desperately want to avoid the dishes or sweeping?
Crazy.
I don't know who would invite that into their house. I would never sleep comfortably knowing that there's a machine that could twist me into pieces is somewhere and not even sleeping. That dude's not turned off. He's just sitting there waiting. What if he gets bored? Or what if okay, now we're getting into
yeah.
Yeah, but it's true though, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it's a thing. And the competition between these AI companies to accelerate the deployment of new models is really huge, right? There's a lot of money involved, a lot of stress, prestige, everything else. And right now, we have no safety testing in place. This is the Wild West, man. These guys are going nuts. We're getting to the point where that's already here anyhow. So we need to address this, man. And that doesn't even begin to, once quantum computing starts getting into working with these bots, which we don't understand at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to check and recheck. That's my biggest point right now. You need to be sure of the information that you're being given, and you need to understand that the bot will try to fool you.
Definitely.
It's not even intentionally, but nonetheless, you may not be getting what you think.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. There you guys have it. Now, for our last...
that's your catchphrase. There you have it.
Yep.
We've brought the word down, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not bumbling along.
No. So now we have, what do you think aliens would look like?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
What do I think aliens would look like? I honestly think that they'll look like something we haven't been able to imagine yet. I really feel like because we're not finding any evidence of life in the vastness of our galaxy that we've been able to explore, My guess is that any life we might come upon would have evolved completely differently in some miraculous way than we have. And so it might be some nitrogen-based thing. So I think of movies like The Abyss, you know, where the life is in the water.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing, where the life would take on a form that we just wouldn't understand.
Okay, mine is similar. I feel like it would be more of an animalistic alien, just because the chances are that it would much more likely be an animal than it would be a human, just because the odds are just way higher.
Well, we're animals, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, on all fours,
so you think
snouts.
Okay,
kind of animal.
So less evolved than us, then. That's
Right.
what you're saying?
Yes. Basically. I just feel like it would be more of an animal kind of alien.
But can it speak? Can it do all those things?
No, I just think it would be an animal alien. Animals, maybe there's different species of animals.
So sort
but
of
on a planet, animals. Just like before we were here, there were dinosaurs.
Okay. You're keeping with the idea that all life will evolve the way we evolved.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I think that's entirely possible too. So to just be different stages of carbon-based life where nitrogen and water come together to create something with the heat of the sun and the soupiness of whatever, helium, I don't know, just a mixture of this and that miraculously produces something like us.
Yeah.
But what about the possibility of something unlike us? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think because I'm a human, I think I can only think so far outside of us.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of hard to think that there's something that isn't alike us or that isn't alike things on our Earth. But I don't think they would be animals like they are on Earth. I think they would be much different, especially if they're adapting to a different form of living. If they're on a different planet, what they orbit, I think it would be different.
What about the abyss, though? Do you remember do you remember it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. So remember the water thing, and it was actually quite kind and gentle until we started, bringing out the guns.
I don't think it would be like that. I think it would be most likely a land animal. Maybe.
So you don't have a picture of some dudes in a spaceship, take me to your leader, that kind of thing?
No. I've never thought of aliens that way. Ever. That's just so human-like of us. To think that aliens would be these ugly, tall, human-like built creatures.
Even if they're beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what the dude tried to do in Avatar, right? Is to make aliens, but give them some kind of otherness that he feels is beautiful or powerful. I mean, everything we do is creating them from the point of view of us. Because to your point, which is a great point, it's hard for us to imagine anything outside of that.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, for your question, I'm trying to think, well, what would they be like that's not like us? Because to me, that's more fun anyhow. Probably just their systems in general, how they breathe, what they eat. Exactly.
Like,
how do they think?
Do they hear? Just things like that.
How do they create? How do they build?
I think that's what it would. My thing would be like. I don't think they would be like us in that way, internally.
Yeah.
I think they might look similar to us, maybe not humans, but similar to things on Earth, just because the chances of something evolving that is completely and utterly not like us whatsoever at all in any way is weird. If we evolved here to look like this.
I guess I'm saying too, right? There's so much we don't know. So
exactly.
There's the possibility of a species evolving on a rock on an ice planet.
Yeah.
Or in the heat, or are those possibilities?
Yeah, I think they are.
I think so too.
I think they
are.
But
like you say, for us to imagine that is really difficult.
We just happen to evolve on a really nice, pretty, good planet.
Yeah, I mean, to your first point, it seems like it's us, and that be she.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mr. Jang, episode the 74th.
Yes, indeed.
I love you very much.
I love you too.
That was a gooder.
That was.
Hey, that's as hillbilly Canadian as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a gooder. Yeah, Gavin Ray, that was a gooder.
Yep.
That one right there. Yeah.
All right, I love you.
I love you.
Next time.
Yes.